Hey everyone, welcome to week 5. You've made it halfway through the class. Congratulations. You guys are all doing an excellent job. Thanks to those of you who have been emailing me and keeping me up to date with everything going on. Thank you, those of you who are getting your work in on time. And everything I'm seeing, I'm already seeing some really big improvements in those hands, especially. I'm excited to look at your linear perspective drawings this week. And so I will be getting those done and back and graded to you by Friday, again at the latest. That's always my goal is, give me Monday through Friday to get all your work graded. And that way you have the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to apply any feedback I've given to your week for the following. Your work for the following week. So this week is all about portraits and still lifes. And we're actually kind of building up this week to next week where we're going to be redoing our own self-portrait. So this is one of my favorite parts of the class because once you do those, it's so neat to see how your self-portraits have changed from week 1 to week 6. So just really make sure you're doing that reading, you're looking at all those techniques, you're listening to the feedback I've been giving you. I try on those major assignments to do those little videos. I hope those have been helping. And so let's dive into what we got going on. And if I sneeze in this, excuse me, it's spring in Nashville, which means allergies are running rampant for everyone. So in your reading, we are doing chapter 9, which is drawing a profile portrait. So again, we're kind of working up to redoing those self-portraits. And so it's going to talk all about that. So make sure you do your reading. It's going to give you some good tips and tricks. It's going to talk a lot about proportions of the head. And we're actually going to do some workbook exercises that are all about those proportions this week. Your discussion this week. So we have our last artist of the week was Matisse. And this week it's a guy named John Singer Sargent. This is a shorter clip this week. It's only about 28 minutes, I think. It's like a 1-episode show from a show called The Forger's Masterclass, which I really enjoy. And this guy, John Myatt, was actually in jail, in prison for a while because he is an art forger and has since gone legit and shares a lot of his secrets. So this one is all about John Singer Sargent. And so when you do this discussion board for this, I want you to answer the following questions. And again, these are just really quick 2 to 3 sentences for each of these bullet points. So how were these art students asked to think first with their right brain? I want you to read through these first before you watch the video because I want you to be thinking about these things. How does Sargent employ adventurous spontaneity in his work? I've talked to several of you about this idea of courage, and sometimes that has to do with cleanliness, that when we're not super confident, we tend to go over lines again and again and again and give this really sketchy quality, which is fine if that's intentional, but oftentimes I can tell when it's done because we're not super confident in just making those marks. And so that's something that Sargent was really good at. What are the benefits of studying the techniques of a master artist like Sargent? And then comment on a peer's post, and something you might consider asking them is how would they feel if they were asked to copy a Sargent, or something they said in one of these 3 bullet points that you found really interesting. So make sure that you are participating with your peers to get full credit on these assignments, right? And enjoy this clip. It's a really good one. Okay, in our copy assignment, we're doing in our workbook exercise 12, which is drawing a flower. So we're working with organic shapes this week as well. We're going to draw an orange. And when you draw an orange, I don't want you to just take it and draw it as is. You'll see in the assignment it's talked about peeling it back, opening up that orange so that we can get some sense of dimension and layering. So don't just dial it in, like really go for it on this one, okay? Peel it in an interesting way. Go pick up an orange. I mean, it's perfect time of year for that, right? A little bit of liquid sunshine. So we're doing flowers and oranges, and that's kind of more the organic side of this week. And then in exercise 26 and 27, we're going to be a little more structured, if you will, because we're going to do proportions of the head in profile. So there's an exercise that you're going to be doing for that. And you're going to actually copy a John Singer Sargent. So when we're asking how would you feel if you were asked, well, guess what? You are going to be asked. So we're going to be copying Madame X. And I love this assignment. Students tend to really embrace this one, and so go for it. Have fun with this one. So this is kind of the culminating point of this assignment, is that copying the master drawing of profile and portrait. So you'll notice that that's the one that I want you to make really large on one of your 11 by 14 inch sheets of drawing paper. Don't give me this teeny tiny little copy. I want this to be good, big. I want you to be confident like Sargent, and I want you to go for it. Okay, submission instructions, you know how that works by now. And our create assignment this week, we are doing still lifes again, and then we're going to be doing profile portraits. So we're kind of working both ends of the spectrum this week, kind of broadening our horizons a little bit. So exercise 23 is citing a still life of books on a table. So just grab some books, stack them up, and this is about being really crisp and linear, and it's also about considering light and shadows and how things work in space. And then we're going to do a still life with ellipses, excuse me. And so that's basically oval type shapes, right? So if you are drawing this water bottle, if you're drawing it in space, right, this would be an ellipses. If it's tilted, you know, it's going to change. This circle changes if we tip it and turn it, right? So these are ellipses, and it's going to talk in your book about this, and it's going to give you some good pointers there. And then we're drawing a profile portrait as well this week in exercise 28. So again, this is all kind of gearing up, getting used to doing some of those more organic shapes with the flowers, with the orange, doing these ellipses, and then getting the structure, the right proportions of the face. And then next week, we're going to be doing our self-portraits again. Okay, that's what we got going on this week. So lots and lots of drawing as usual. But again, I know I said in the beginning of this class, it's a lot of drawing, but there's a reason, because if you want to improve, you have to practice. But I think those of you that are really kind of, you know, pedal to the metal, who are trying to really see improvement in your drawing, I think you already are, and I'm trying to be as encouraging as I can in my feedback. So if you have any questions, if you're struggling anywhere, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help, and have a great week, everyone.